was one of the craziest lobbies I've ever seen. 1.8 average KD lobby, 40 players, 31 had over 1 KD, 13 had over 2 KD, and 6 players had over a 3 KD. Oh, and we dropped 17 kills and the dub. So today, I'm gonna be coaching you through that game so that you can survive Rebirth with how sweaty it is. If you are looking to get better, make sure you are subscribed down below. And if you find the video helpful, make sure you leave a like. Let's get into it. So as I mentioned, 17 kills in the dub in this crazy 1.8 average KD lobby. But I'm gonna be totally honest with you here. I start off this game in the absolute blender. And one thing I want you to take away from today's gameplay is just because you're in the blender doesn't mean you can't still drop a good game. You know, I will happily take 17 kills in a 1.8 KD lobby, even though I die a bunch of times. Right here, that guy just perfectly executes with the pistol. If you know me, if you've been here before, if you're subscribed, you know that I hate fighting with pistols, so I go for the gun, he executes, and he wins that gunfight. We are going to run into him again. Now, right here, I'm going to go ahead and grab the RE225 and start roaming around prison, and I don't know if this is a sweaty lobby just yet. One thing I do want to highlight, right in this moment, I basically circle back to this RE225. I already have a blue one, but if this is a green one, a purple one, an orange one, basically anything besides the one I already have, I'm going to go ahead and grab this. I'd rather run around with 2 SMGs than an SMG and a pistol, especially in prison where it's super close quarters. So we're going to go ahead. I hear one over to the right. Watch the centering around the corner. We anticipate. We're going to anticipate right here and watch the aim and movement. I hit shots, but notice the movement, not only strafing, but jumping to my left as well to make me a harder target to hit. We're able to get the thirst, at which point I get the information about where teammates are. You know, in these sweaty lobbies, a lot of what's it's gonna come down to is execution and information. You know, being able to understand where people are, make quick decisions, and try to keep players separated as much as possible. One of the biggest things, or two of the biggest things in my opinion in sweaty lobbies, is going to be execution and pace of play. You know, everything is happening so much quicker. Enemies are pushing you quicker. Third parties are coming quicker. So you always have to be aware. Now right here, I hear a parachute and I see one guy pushing to my right and I see one guy to my left. Now I'm trying to get a clean knock on this one, and what ends up happening, literally the entire team comes. This is one of the downsides of Rebirth. Look at all of them. So you have one of them to the left, you've got 2 of them to the left, you've got one of them that's 12 meters back behind. Like literally the whole entire team. I don't know why people are stacking, especially good players right here, but it's part of what we have to deal with. So we're going to go ahead and drop back in. Like I said, we're starting this game in the blender. I want to show you that it's okay, and we can really start to pick up the pace. I'm going to keep dying here. I'm going to die 2 more times pretty quickly, and then we're going to start to gain a little bit more momentum and go on a nice little run. So I'm going to go ahead and challenge right here this guy around the corner. We're going to tag, we're going to push around the corner, and he just plays that really well. I get a little bit caught. I wasn't fully confident in that challenge. You're going to see that he hits high damage areas right here, and he's able to mix in headshots. That chest shot gives him that faster TTK, and I go down. Now we're going to go ahead, and we're going to push over right here. Still only 1 kill, 7 teams. I mean, we're just going through it right now. I mean, we are fully in the blender. But like I said, we're going to gain that momentum here in a second. Trying to find a gun, can't find anything. So now we're going to go ahead and push over here towards living quarters. And I just push over to living quarters because I don't really know where else to push at this point. There's nothing in headquarters. There's a team that just bought loadout. I can't land control. I can't go prison. So let's go ahead and rotate this way, and I catch this guy bottom floor. Now, as we push in, this guy heard me or saw me flying in. So he's challenging as well. And now we're going to have to try to make a move. I also hear the personal supply crate that was right behind me. I don't know if you could hear that in the recording. Yeah, it's right there, right behind my camera. So now I know it's there. So what I do, I push down, I break him, and now this is kind of a weird decision because I don't really feel comfortable with this Modern Warfare AK. So I'm actually going to go ahead and grab the personal supply crate. I'm going to grab my Armaguerra, and then I'm going to push in because I feel much more comfortable with that. I open the door. Now, I want to talk about this real quick. When we talk about anticipation and challenging, I open the door here expecting him to be in this corner. Now, if he's not in this corner, then I know he's on the left side over this way, kind of like right behind this wall. So I slide in here and then immediately center towards that way, and I'm able to get that kill. But because I opened the door and he's here, we're able to easily execute. We get the down, we get the thirst. Now we're going to grab plates. We also noticed the $8,000 bag of cash right there. So I'm going to use that to my advantage, right? We always talk about cash flow and how important it is, not only getting it, but spending it. So we've got $13,000 here. I know at this point that it's a sweaty lobby and that we're kind of going through it. So I'm actually going to go ahead and get another loadout down. It's going to make that regame process a little bit easier. And at that point, you're going to see me actually use that loadout in a little bit, and this is all going to come full circle for you. So far, 2 kills, right? It's just nothing really. We're not even close to 20 bomb pace. We're always looking for 6 kills in that first circle. We're not even close at this point, but we do have loadout, and we'll see what we can find with information after the occupation scan. If you're in the middle of a fight, definitely don't go down. You know, don't prioritize dropping down versus, you know, getting a kill. But if you can go down, definitely drop it down below the occupation scan. So I'm going to go ahead, challenge this guy right here that's down below me. And we're going to try to see what we can find. And watch the way he pushes, right? It's pretty obvious which way he's going. Like, you could just see based on the direction that he's moving. Right here, he's either going to commit and he's going to literally go right up this way, right? If he pushes and hugs this right side of the building, he's going to be pushing up the stairwell. What ends up happening is he pushes around. Notice he pushes around, at which point I know he's pushing up the stairwell to my left. Those are just little things. And I wanted to challenge out the window there, but I couldn't get him. Execution. Got to be able to hit shots. I feel really comfortable with this armor. Notice that there's one more down below me. Also notice that guy popped below the occupation scan. He actually went down because he was not on radar. But he still pops up once I get that kill. So we can go ahead and challenge right here. Now, 2 things end up happening. After we get this kill, I don't have any information. And I'm going to get caught being pushed, right? I always talk about pushing versus getting pushed. And what ends up happening is this guy third parties this fight because he heard it happening. Good players act on the information that they get, which is an audio cue of me shooting. And he's going to go ahead and just execute a little bit better. This is the same guy as the pistol guy from before. So I end up going down right there. We're at 4 kills, 6 other teams. I'm going to go ahead and drop on this loadout right here. What ends up happening is I get shot from literally every single direction. I noticed this guy actually right here. Right? So I notice him right there. So I'm actually going to drop in and notice how I create a little barrier of cover right here. So I actually have 2 pieces of cover. I have the loadout and I have this crate. Now, as soon as I get this loadout, I know that I have to make a move on this guy. Unfortunately, Prison is just staring at the loadouts. What do you know? So we go down again. Here we go. Now let's start to gain some momentum here. Notice how I threw this loadout, right? We had the cash for it. In these lobbies, I had an inclination we were going to need this, or at least have it as a safety net. And sure enough, what do you know? The loadout over at Control isn't safe. It's being watched by a team in Control and Prison, and we're able to grab loadout here. Because what makes the regame process even worse is not being able to actually get your loadout. So we wanted to ensure that we could, and that was just a cash flow decision right there. We had a lot of cash flow, so I decided to go ahead and put one down. Then we're going to go ahead and rotate back into Control here. I know that there's people just not totally sure where yet. And let's go ahead and start to piece this together. Let's go ahead and start to play with a little bit of pace, play with a little bit of momentum based on the information that we get, and see what we can find. I hear some shooting. TCAP gets one above. And by the way, notice that there are 2 players here. So we're going to go ahead right there. So we caught one. You can barely see him. You can barely see the one, and then you see the second guy in the back. And I calmed to TCAP, hey, right there. So there's the first one right there. And then you see the second one following right behind. So I tell TCAP, hey, there's 2. And we're actually going to perfectly pinch this. So what happens is I'm going to challenge this guy. He's going to go right. I'm going to now immediately focus on the guy to the left. I'm not going to challenge the guy that's already broken because I know that his teammate's going to be immediately pushing. So watch this bunny hop right here. We get all the way out. We're able to get that down. We get that thirst. TCAP's going to go ahead and grab the second one right here. He gets the down. You get the thirst. There's the team wipe. So 5 kills, 5 other teams. Lobbies like not super healthy because when you're in these sweaty lobbies, generally what happens is there's so much just everybody's killing each other. You know, teams are wiping. You're not really thinking about it. And you can't really keep track of when it's the last enemy alive or whatever it may be. So these lobbies tend to die. We're able to get that down. We're able to snag that down right there. We'll take the free kill. 6 kills right here, 4 other teams. Now we're going to go ahead and push in. Now, right here, this is where I talk about the 6 ways to actually find people. Right here, the only information I have is the top of the minimap, right? So whether that's a combination of people fighting as well as getting the pings after I get a kill. What ends up happening is as I'm pushing that direction, I'm going to hear an audio cue to my left. So I'm going to go ahead and challenge that guy, noting and keeping in mind that there's still people over by Grandma's. So we challenge here. We catch him right here. You can barely literally see him right there. So let's go ahead and challenge this, keep the pressure on, and notice that we are the one pushing, right? I'm not waiting for him to make a move. I am going to go ahead and be the one pushing, which allows me to break that camera a little bit because I'm playing more aggressive. Boom, we challenge, we hit fire, we're able to use a little movement, we're able to get that down and thirst. Last guy's over in Harbor. So now I immediately focus on the guys that were over at Grandma's because they're going to be hearing that we're fighting in here. Even though I'm running subsonic on my Armaguerra, right? They are still, good players are still going to use the audio cue that there was fighting in prison and then go push that direction. So now we're going to go ahead and see what we can find in here. 7 kills, 4 other teams. Lobbies obviously not very healthy. We see one right here. I want to get this clean knock. I want to try to get it. So I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit patient here in the sense of I'm still pushing, but notice I'm in a position to challenge this guy, right? And now I'm clearing, trying to see what I can find. We get one right there. Notice one straight across, and I've got one behind me. So once again, not worried about looting. I'm good here. We've got plenty of ammo in the armor. We've got stims. We got throwing knife. We got plates. We're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and challenge here with momentum. I try to see what I can find. I don't see that guy. On top of not seeing that guy, here's what my fear is. My fear is that he's on my level and he's like somewhere maybe right here or right here, and he's on a nasty heady. If he's on a heady, it's going to be very tough for me to kill this guy. So I just go focus on this one back here. And then we, of course, talk about execution. I anticipate, boom, we challenge. We're able to hit all shots. That's a team wipe right there. Minute and 8 seconds left on respawn. We've only got 3 teams left, but we've got 9 kills. We can start to feel that momentum shifting, right? I'm starting to gain a little bit more confidence back based on that execution. And sometimes that confidence for you might just be getting a kill or two, right? Starting to feel more comfortable again. By the way, we always talk about cash flow, getting it and spending it. Really good job. TCAP quickly grabs the top secret contract, which happens to be a supply run, which happens to push right next to me. So I'm going to slow down for half a second. I don't have any information right now besides people shooting over at Harbor, which means there's 2 teams over there. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this. That gives us the UAV. I grab the UAV for the road, and now we're in a really good position. Now, the other thing that happens here is TCAP comes to me. TCAP and I were playing a little bit off each other here, starting to duo quad a little bit more because of the way these lobbies were. By the way, the next lobby after this was actually a 1.9 KD. That was even crazier, although we didn't last very long. We got wiped, but he's going to go ahead and challenge on this ladder right here. And when he goes to challenge on the ladder, he's going to get smoked. So we actually have to find a way to pinch this, right? So I'm going to go ahead and challenge from this way, try to see what I can find, try to get a knock, 1 on my level. Now notice there's 1 on my level, there's 2 across, but I can actually potentially get this first guy. We're going to challenge. I'm waiting, I'm patient, There's the knock. Now, of course, in typical Joe fashion, I don't reload, right? So that is a mistake that I make that's going to cost me my life, because as I go to challenge around the corner right here, we re-engage, boom, trying to see what I can find. There's one, we get the thirst, and they stun. And unfortunately, stuns are broken. There's literally nothing I can do. I can't even move. So once again, now what do we do in this scenario? And this goes for any lobby that you're in, right? We don't have loadout. There's no loadouts out for us to grab. I can't go land on my stuff. They're obviously still sitting top prison. So what is the play right here? And I want you to think about this, because I don't even hesitate right here. I see the guys on roof. So what do? I go ahead and I drop into Grandma's house. Why do I drop into Grandma's house? Well, remember all of the dead bodies that were in here? So I'm just going to pop in. Somebody has to have a gun that is viable to use. I don't know what that is. We're going to grab the Armaguerra right here. Now we're going to go ahead and push up. We're going to see what this other guy has. I don't know what this build fully is. So we're going to go ahead and grab the Cooper Carbine. Now, I probably should have grabbed Gas Mask 100%. I don't know why I didn't. I can't really... I can't push up top. We're going to grab plates real quick using the discounted item. Quick plate, and now we're going to start to think about positioning. Now, these guys are in a great position on roof. It's super annoying that people do that and they just sit on rooftop, but let's be honest, like, they're in a really good position at this point when it comes to endgame. Power position, cover, they've got high ground, they've got plenty of cover, except... what if I get better high ground, right? So watch how I play this. I'm not just going to sit in top tower, okay? I get it. I'm being a tower Timmy right now, but a tower Timmy is somebody who sits up here and never moves. I'm going to push up this way to get an advantage, and then I'm going to immediately challenge. Now, right here, we've got 2 guys. We've got 1 mounted and 1 out in the open. Now, which guy is technically further from cover? And the answer is this guy right here, right? I have an angle on this guy this guy could easily jump down backwards if he's quick enough and escape. So I get the down, I get the thirst, I immediately snap to this guy. We're able to get that down right there. Just a few missed shots, and that's what kind of takes that away. Now, right here, quick reload. We're going to take that guy out of commission, and notice that there's 2 guys down below in the stairwell. Very obvious where these guys are. So I'm going to make a very quick decision. Now we push. And this is where I talk about everything being a 1v2 situation, right? Everything, in my opinion, is a 1v2, and we got to learn to split them. Well, they're split right now. So if I can find a way to get that clean first kill on one of them, then I can immediately go challenge that second guy. Now we're just going to play patient. I'm trying to get that clean first kill. I'm trying to make them make a move, and I have the advantage right here. I have the advantage because it's a very tough angle to challenge where I am right now. I can easily jump off the side of prison and start finessing, get into grandma's house. I've got cover. My teammates are with me here watching. So I'm just going to wait. Now I hear him pushing. I told you, that's a really hard angle to challenge. Look, he doesn't know where to look, right? So as he knows I'm above, but he doesn't know which side or where I actually am. And let's not even factor in that maybe I'm not above. Maybe I'm just holding the corner over to the right side. This is a very tough push, which is why I don't generally challenge this when there's people up here. I'll either take tower, I'll go push towards ladder, I'll try to take zip, whatever the case may be. So we get the down, we get the thirst. Now I immediately go push. Let's go challenge around the corner here. And I just got caught. Now I did not want to go down right there. So, which is why I pull back, right? So we're pretty much an even fight. He might have a little bit of a health advantage. Quick stim for the health boost and the speed boost. And now we just go in and we just spray and pray, baby. Use that hip fire to your advantage. Really, it's not hard to hit shots if you're just spraying there. And I knew that I didn't need much. So now let's go ahead and push over right here. Still haven't grabbed a gas mask. Like, I don't know what it is. The pace of play for me sometimes. And yeah, it can cost me in certain moments. Right here, I get sniped at twice. Now we just make a play. Let's go execute. We get the down. We get the thirst. Notice where everybody is. Last team, 15 kills, 3v3 situation. I've got 1 to my right that still has to rotate into gas, and I've got 2 already on Nova 6. So I'm going to go ahead and buy TCAP back right here. We quick play, and I know in this moment, I'm going to have to challenge this guy to my right first. He's going to be the first priority. So I'm pushing over. I'm kind of running with gas, and I see him challenge, so we got to make a move. Let's go. We use a little bit of movement right there, and that's where you just got to execute. Watch the movement. I can't just stop. I've got to keep moving. I've got to take less damage, right? We use aim to win gunfights. We use our movement to take less damage. And that's a situation where I'm moving back and forth. I'm taking less damage, and that allows me to ultimately win that gunfight on top of hitting shots. So we're gonna go ahead, and I tried to sneak. I would have been in a great spot to flank this, by the way. If I'm in a really good position here, because they're not expecting me to be rotating towards roof. So as I push in, I start plating, and then I immediately challenge here as soon as I turn the door up top, up the stairs. And then at that point I can challenge. But as soon as I hit that, it does 2 things. 1, it takes me, you know, I now have less plates. Number 2, it actually tells them where I am. Right now they know that I'm here because they put that claymore down, so they know that I got broken. So we're going to go ahead and rotate forward right here. I'm not going to try to risk anything. I'm just going to go ahead and push forward. We're just going to play our positioning. We're going to play our cover here. We're going to get to a good spot knowing that they have to push to us, right? I'm just going to basically wait and take the free kills knowing that they have to rotate. So we're just waiting. We're playing patient. That's TCAP, although his name didn't pop up. There we go. Now we got both. We're able to get one of them down here in a second, and this game kind of gets drawn out a little bit. We get it down right there. I don't know. I'm guessing they have self-revive. They might have PDS. They might have gas mask, and I can't see anything. Now, once again, we get a pretty good circle rotation right here. So circle rotation up the gas. We see him over there. I'm able to get that thirst. Unfortunately, I lose the down. But notice the last one is all the way up in gas. So I'm just going to go ahead and challenge. I'm going to take this last kill. I'm not even going to wait for him. I also know that I have all 3 of my teammates alive here, so we're in a good position. By the way, I actually don't know what... I heard glass break. I heard glass break to my right, and I heard it in the game, which is why I don't check back behind me, and then I hear him right there. We're able to get the team wipe. So I hope you found today's video helpful. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.